We're live. Hi, and welcome to Digital Blitz. Tonight we're talking with Jacqueline Pacheco of LegalShield. We're sorry if you were watching the other video. Her computer crashed, so we're starting all over again. Hi, Jacqueline, and welcome.
Hi again, and thanks for welcoming me again.
I am glad that you took the time to join us and that we got all the problems straightened out. You're with LegalShield. Now, can you tell us a little bit about LegalShield, its background history?
Sure. Well, our company was actually founded a little over 40 years ago, and the reason why it was founded was because there was a gentleman who got into a car accident. It was not his fault, it was the other person's fault. In fact, the other person even got the ticket, but 2 years later, he found himself in a lawsuit being sued by that same driver. Now, he ended up winning his case, but the problem is he had to pay so much money for his attorneys that he nearly went bankrupt, pretty much trying to prove his innocence. And so he thought to himself, well, I have car insurance, I have life insurance, I have home insurance, I have dental, medical, any kind of insurance that he had it. But why didn't he have any kind of legal insurance? Now, it turns out a little over 40 years ago, there wasn't any kind. And so he decided to build LegalShield so that he can offer every American what he did not have, a chance to fight for his rights without having to pay $300 an hour for an attorney. Because what we do is we eliminate that. Instead of paying an attorney $300 an hour for one thing, you just pay a small monthly fee, you have a membership, and you have access to an entire law firm for multiple things that should happen in your life.
Now, are there different kind of lawyers, or is it just like one specific type of attorneys that's in this field?
Okay, that's a good question. We actually have entire law firms in every state, and we have at those firms they study all 26 types of law. So if you are calling for a tax question, we have that attorney. If you are calling for a family question, an estate question, anything that immigration, we have those attorneys, because it's not just individual attorneys that we have, it's entire law firms, and it's a nationwide coverage. So in each state, we have an entire law firm there to serve you and your family.
Now, say for instance that I wanted to get a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
and usually a divorce lawyer costs $2,000. Or say I wanted to get custody of my children if I had small children
Mm-hmm.
away from someone. Um, that's like $2,500 up front right there.
Right.
So is it cheaper going through LegalShield to do that? What would the cost for something like that would be with LegalShield?
Well, that's a good question. So the good thing about being a LegalShield member is that it gives you access on an unlimited basis. So being a member, kind of like being a AAA member, I guess you should say, you get certain benefits because you are a member. Now, I'm just going to take that divorce one for instance that you asked. If let's say you're going through a divorce, so the first benefit that you have as a LegalShield member is that you get unlimited advice on anything. So you can call them on the phone and you can ask them anything, any question that you have concerning that divorce. If you need a letter written for you, they can do that for you too. If you need to go to actual, court to go to your divorce, which usually happens, after 90 days, if it's an uncontested divorce, the attorney's fees is 100% covered because you're a LegalShield member. The other one you mentioned was child custody. The way that is handled too is beginning number one, starting with the unlimited advice on any kind of issue. So you call in about your child custody matter, and you let them know everything about your case because every case is unique. And then what happens is they consult you on that case, and then they proceed with the rest of the plan. So if they need a letter written on you, on your behalf, then they'll do that for you too. Now, if you should because as a member, you get about 90% of the things that you need done 100% covered. The rest that's not 100% covered will give you a discounted rate off of the attorney. So if the attorney costs $100 an hour, we'll discount it at a minimum of a 25% discount. Now, was that clear, or did you want me to explain that again?
That was clear.
Okay.
I was just wondering, is it always a 5% discount?
It's a 25 minimum percent discount. And usually what that would entail would be the big giant things that don't happen all the time. So if you're filing for bankruptcy, you're going to need a little bit more than just advice. You're going to need a little bit more than letters written on your behalf. And because you need a little bit more, you're going to need an actual attorney to represent you. We give you a minimum of 25% discount.
What does it cost to become a member?
So that's a good question too. Our plan, it covers you, it covers any significant other. You do not have to be married, just as long as you're together, as well as any dependent children up to the age of 26, and as well as full-time college students if they're away, and any mentally disabled child or physically disabled child, we cover them for life. You get that entire coverage for just $20 a month.
What does it cost to become a LegalShield member? Is it just $20 or is it a bigger fee?
That's it. It's just $20 a month.
And that's all. And what other, do they offer other types of, I'm not quite, legal help?
Yes. So we cover everything under the law, under the sun. And the specific benefits that you get is, one, I mentioned the advice on anything. The next thing you get is letters and phone calls made on your behalf should you need it. Now, I use this because AT&T decided to charge me $10 extra a month on my cell phone bill, and they didn't want to give me my money back. And it was an accumulation of 8 months, so that was a total of $80. And they told me that I did not catch even though they were at fault, that I did not catch it in time, and so that they were not going to give me my money back. And I didn't think that was quite fair, and so I had my attorneys write a letter for me, and once they sent that out, I ended up getting my $80 back from AT&T. So that's another thing that we do. We also do 24/7 emergency assistance. If you're in an emergency situation, you have an attorney. Like if you are in a car accident, if CPS is knocking at your door, if you're pulled over, anything that needs an attorney immediately, we give you that access. We also review your contracts and documents for you. We even give you a will, a living will, a healthcare power of attorney for you and your significant other at no additional cost. So pretty much you come in as a member for $20 and you get a will packet that's worth $2,000 for you and your spouse. We also do motor vehicle services, and that's for moving traffic violations, so like speeding tickets and eating red lights or rolling stop signs, things like that. We also do uncontested adoptions, name changes, divorces. In case you ever get audited by the IRS or in case you get sued, we also cover you with attorney's fees 100% as well. And so those are the specific benefits that you get. Now again, we cover everything. So if you have, like, if you're wondering if we cover immigration or if we cover estate things or anything legal, we do cover. Those are the specific benefits that you do get 100% covered. And anything that falls outside, you get a minimum of a 25% discount.
Now, if, say for instance, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. If we had a will, or if we had an estate, say a parent's estate, and the will was not followed correctly, and there was supposed to be specific things left to specific people.
Mhm.
And, with estate attorneys, those estate attorneys get extremely expensive.
Mhm.
And you just, sometimes it goes on up into the way up into the thousands to fight. Will
Right.
they fight for that certain amount, or do they continue to charge you like a regular attorney?
Okay. So the way that one would be, a member doesn't get charged like a regular attorney would charge you. The way that situation would be handled is that the member, let's say it's me, I would call in and I'm saying, hey, I have this issue because my parents have a will and it's not being executed properly. XYZ. This is what's supposed to happen, but it's not happening. Okay. So an estate attorney gets paired with me because that's the attorney that I need. Now I'm on the phone with them and they're telling me the who's and ins and outs and whys and whats that I am able to do. Okay. 9 times out of 10, getting that phone consultation, no matter how long, because they won't charge you if you're on there for 5 hours, no matter how long it is, usually that'll settle it. Sometimes they might need to write a letter, and if they should need to do that, they will go ahead and do that. And the letter might say something like, so, dear Mr. So and so, in more legal terms, of course, we want you to execute the will that's supposed to be done, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, letters from an attorney are extremely powerful, so usually that handles it as well. And so, out of those two benefits, usually the matter is handled because you know exactly what your rights are. You're getting the advice and the consultation you need so you can deal with that issue. And if you have a letter that's written by an attorney, backed by an entire law firm, it's usually handled. If you need extra assistance, meaning you actually need the attorney to come and represent you, we don't leave you high and dry. We still represent you, and it'll be that minimum 25% discount, as I mentioned. But they don't need retainers. Usually, because you're a member, they treat you a lot differently. It's not really about money. They really just want to help you because they are already prepaid for. Essentially, they don't really need the money out of your pocket. So, did that answer that question?
Sure. Now, in other words, say I became a Legal Shield member,
Uh-huh.
and they're Legal Shield attorneys in the state of North Carolina, which I am in.
Correct.
What if one is not close to me and I need him to come and represent me in court? Now, that's what, 25% discount there? But is that going to be a 25% discount every time he has to come to court?
Yes, you always get that. If you need him every time, then you always get that 25% discount.
So I would still have to pay a fee for him to come each time. Say he had to travel out of Charlotte, which is like 50 miles from where I'm at. So every time that I would need him to appear in court with me or for me, I
Hmm.
would have to pay him that travel expense, correct?
No, you wouldn't have to pay him the travel expense. Usually, um, the attorneys don't have to do traveling because usually if they cannot make it, like you say, if it's too far, they usually have referral attorneys that are in your area. Now, the next thing is that sometimes you may not even have to pay for their representation. For instance, during our trial defense benefit and through our IRS defense benefit, you're actually getting physical representation and you're not paying for that attorney. Um, Also, in the motor vehicle benefit, if you are in an accident and someone happens to pass away, an attorney needs to represent you because you're usually charged with vehicular manslaughter. Now, in that case, the attorney is representing you physically and they're traveling to you and you are not paying anything out of your pocket. So, um, just because you have to get physically represented doesn't always mean you have to pay something out of pocket. Um, but if you do have to pay something out of pocket, you're not going to be paying for the travel expenses. They really treat you. It's kind of hard to explain, only because we think of attorneys as these, very high and mighty people who can't be touched and all they want is money. But LegalShield screened all the attorneys that we have, and they really have to have great ethics, great customer service, and they have to look at you as a person and as a family member, not as a checkbook. And so they're really not going to be, hey, I drove 10 miles out of my way and I'm going to charge you that travel time. So yes.
Now, when you join LegalShield,
Uh-huh.
what is the I don't know if it would be commission, or what do you make off of it? How do you get paid?
How do I get paid? That's a
Yes.
good. So every time a member signs up, I get paid, and of course, depending on what level I am, I get paid either a higher commission or a lower commission. And so I guess that's the simplest way to put it. If a member signs up, then I get paid.
Now, do you have to go to classes? Do they teach you one-on-one about this and all of the legal areas? Do you have to study all of that in order to become a LegalShield Associate?
Nope, you do not. I like to think of LegalShield Associates as like the middleman. Michelle has a problem. I know the solution. The attorneys are going to fix it for you. So I'm just the connector, because the attorneys want to help, and Michelle doesn't want to pay an attorney $300 an hour. And so I know the way to bridge those two and give help to the attorneys so they can get some business, and give help to Michelle because she's going through a child custody battle. So that's how that works out. We have people who GEDs, PhDs. We have people. I started when I was a student, and the only reason why I can talk a little bit about legal situations now is just because I've been doing it for a while, and you come across things while you're helping people with legal needs. But no, you don't need any classes. You don't need any background. You kind of learn as you go, and you help people as you go, and then you're able to help, learn, and get paid as you go.
Now, do you have a legal background?
I do not. I went to school and I was a history major. I got into the company when I'm 23 now, I think I was 20 years old. And the reason why I got a part of the company is because when I was presented with this information, I actually was interested about our identity theft protection, which I did not mention, but I was interested in that area because where I lived, everyone was getting their identity stolen, and I did not want to be a victim. And then I said to myself, well, things happen on a day-to-day basis that we don't plan for, and so if I don't get the legal plan, then I think I'll be pretty darn silly, not getting it, because I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's why I became a member. A couple months later, my mother was talking about getting her will done. I also knew my grandmother needed a will. And so I said, well, I guess maybe I should become an associate so I can help my mother, help my grandmother. My sister was going through a divorce at this time, so I needed to help her too. My cousin also was going through an issue of her own. And so I was able to help them from a membership that I knew that I wanted to be a part of. So that's how I got started and everything.
Now, do you do LegalShield all the time, or are you employed, or is it just a part-time business for you?
Okay, this is actually my only source of income. I'm married, and my husband is in the military. So right now he's the I guess the full time you would want to say, and I do this on my time, I guess, because I'm able to make my own money as much or as little as I want pretty much on my own time. And if I don't feel like waking up, then I don't really have to, which is a blessing, I must say.
Yes, it is. It is a blessing. You don't have to work 12-hour days.
I know. That's why I'm like, man. Whew.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about you?
About me? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just graduated from college in May. I'm very excited about that. I live in Arizona right now. I'm originally from the East Coast. I say the East Coast because I've lived in Connecticut, New York, and Tennessee, and Georgia, and everywhere. So that's just my main part of the country. I'm married. I just celebrated my 4-year anniversary last month in July. I have 2 dogs. I'm allergic to cats. I'm a big fitness person. In fact, if I don't start my day working out, then I didn't start it right. Um, I love avocados, and I don't know. I think that's it. My favorite color is green, which I guess that's why I like avocados.
And you love Legal Shield.
Yes, I do.
Yes, of all of it.
Yeah.
Now, about approximately,
Mhm.
how many attorneys are in the Legal Shield network? Do you know?
Yes, there are over 6,900 attorneys.
And that is in every state in the United States?
That is the entire total that we have. So the numbers vary per state, and I can't tell you that offhand. All I know is that dispersed amongst the United States, there are over 6,900 attorneys, and they're all there to serve us, and they each have an average of 20 years experience of actual practicing law. So if you're wondering what kind of attorneys that you get for $20 a month, you get top-notch attorneys. You don't get, in fact, I know in Connecticut a couple years ago, more than a couple years ago, there was a chimp attack. His name was Travis, and he attacked the friend of the owner of him, and the person who ended up representing that woman was the top law firm in Connecticut, and they are actually the provider law firm in Connecticut, and similar in other states too. So each attorney is they're the best at what they do, and if I were to walk in to the law firm here in Arizona, I would not be able to afford them outside of the Legal Shield membership, just because they're just so great at what they do. But because I have Legal Shield, I'm able to afford them.
Now, are they, how do I, are they um, attorneys, is there attorneys within this Legal Shield network that
Mhm.
handle like class action lawsuits? You know, like the big, huge lawsuits.
Yep, we do. We have attorneys for every type of law. We even have plans for business owners, for small business owners, um, just in case the business entity gets sued. So our attorneys can pretty much handle just about anything. Of course, not you know everything, but just about anything.
Now, you just said that they handle a lot of the small business
Hmm.
suits.
Hmm.
Um, I know that a lot of, is it recommended for like candles, bath and body? There's some like damsel in distress,
Hmm.
um, small home businesses that people work. Would it be beneficial for them to have an attorney for their small business?
Yes, we even have specialized plans for people who specifically have home-based businesses. The reason why it's beneficial is because when you own a small business, whether it's home-based or not, um, you're filing a 1099, and that's under different scrutiny under the IRS. And so getting a small business plan specialized for that protects your IRS. It gives you, or your taxes, I should say, and it gives you the IRS tax attorney so that they can go in with you. It gives you added protection. Also, in that one, if it isn't like an MLM, if it's just like a home-based business, for instance, I know a woman who runs a cleaning, her cleaners. She cleans people's homes. She runs it from her house, and we give you the ability to review contracts, and we give you the ability to write debt collection letters should you need it. So on both ends, if it's MLM or if it's something a little bit more traditional, it is beneficial, especially for your taxes.
Now, what are some of the costs of the plans for home-based business owners?
Sure. So I have a sheet right here. So the plan that I have personally is I have my legal plan for my entire family. I have my identity theft plan for my family, and and that's it. So mine is $26.90. If someone wants to protect their home-based business as well as their family, it'll be the same price, $26.90. If someone, let me give an example. If someone owns like a locksmith company and they have about 10 employees, not very many, but it's not a home-based business, we can offer them a small business plan. It's just not a home-based business plan, and that price is only $49 a month. And any small business owner can tell you that $49 a month to have access anytime you need attorneys is nothing, because they would have to pay a retainer of a lot more than that for them to have that same access. And so it's honestly extremely affordable. It'll probably be the cheapest insurance anyone would get, because if you think about it, on the lowest end, $20 a month, it's literally less than $1 a day. So if you just leave a couple coffees or leave the Chinese food or out for 1 week, you're able to have an entire law firm to back you up whenever you should need it. And we don't plan on getting in trouble, but usually trouble finds us. I mean, I didn't expect that my AT&T company were gonna overcharge me and not give me my money back. And so it may not be a huge issue. $80 is not a huge issue, but if you go through enough of those in a year, $80 here, $40 here, $20 here, next thing you know, your hard-earned money is just getting taken away. And that's what we don't want. We don't want hardworking Americans and hardworking people to be earning a living yet getting taken advantage of by these daily things that happen just because they don't have access to an attorney that can fight for them.
Now, with a home-based business, I know that there's a lot of insurance companies that won't insure. Are there attorneys within this network that also work with insurance companies that would insure a home-based business?
Now, that our attorneys work on their own. They don't partner with anyone. If someone was concerned that an insurance company is not insuring them, the way we would go about it is through the membership, them getting their advice and then saying, hey, what's going on here, and the attorney checking out what's law, what's that person's right. Because if the person is right and that the person should be insured, then they're going to contact the insurance company, whatever insurance company, and they're going to see to it, that they get matters taken care of. But they do not, there are attorneys that work with just members. They don't pair with insurance agents or anything else like that.
If I wanted to become an associate with LegalShield, how would I go about signing up?
Okay, so the way you would go about signing up, if you should decide to become an associate, is first you get the membership. The reason why is because if you are an associate without a membership, it doesn't make any sense. You want to get the membership, and you can do the lowest one. That's $20 a month, and you start using it. get your will done. Call and say, hey, if I'm driving without my license, what should I do? Or use it. So you can see how it works. And then once you get your membership, you just sign up online, or you can sign up on a paper application if you know an associate already that's close to you. And this month and for the rest of the year, it's only $99 to become an associate. You never have to pay anything else again. All you have to do is keep your membership, and it's something that you'd use anyway. So, and then you get free business cards, and you get a team, and you can work as little or as much as you want. There's no quotas. And then should you sign up, we'd be able to show you how to make your goals. So if you want, just to supplement, we could do that. Or if you want a complete full replacement of your income, we could do that too. And it really just depends what you want.
Now, is there a website? Can I sign up online?
Yes, you can sign up online, and the website, I'm going to say it right now, for you to sign up would be, whether for a member or an associate, you can sign up at this website. It's www.denise, D-E-N-I-S-E-R, Ruiz, R-U-I-Z, LegalShieldAssociate.com. Now, if you didn't get that, just email this email. It's jplegal, L-E-G-A-L, shield, S-H-I-E-L-D, at gmail.com, and I can give you more information.
Now, Jacqueline, you gave out Denise Ruiz's website. She is an associate also, correct?
She is. She just started about a month ago, and the reason why I gave her website is because I am doing, which I failed to mention, I am doing this interview on behalf of Denise Ruiz. She's a new associate on my team, and she's still learning the ins and outs of the business, and so she's, I don't know, sitting at home, probably relaxing maybe while I'm doing the work for her.
No, I think she's watching.
Okay, well, that's good.
So would you mind giving out her website address one more time, or contact information?
Sure. I'll give her website address. And so it's, again, www, period, and it's Denise, D-E-N-I-S-E, then there's a R, and then Ruiz, so there's a second R, R-U-I-Z, dot, and then legal, L-E-G-A-L, shield, S-H-I-E-L-D, associate.com.
Is there anything else before we close that you would like to add to this?
So, one thing that I sort of alluded to earlier is that we have an identity theft protection plan. It could be separate, or it can be combined together with your legal plan. Most people are aware of identity theft since it's been hit, especially this year, I think countless of times. But what I want to highlight is that most plans out there, they're only resolution-based protection plans, which means they alert you when something happens, and then they tell you how you can fix it. We are different. We are proactive, meaning we look out and we make sure your information is not on the web. And if it is, we shut it down. And then if a breach should occur, we have licensed investigators that are working for you to make sure it's back to pre-theft status. And this is for your bank accounts, but also your things like your social security number, your medical insurance, your driver's license, because people can steal that information about you, which is not really money related, but it's important because if you go through a background check or anything of that nature, or if you happen to have unpaid parking tickets in your name, you're going to have a warrant out for your arrest. And it's not you, it's identity theft. We cover all of those, as well as your bank. and we cover you and your family too. We don't charge you per person. And so if you just would like an identity theft plan on its own to cover you and your family, it's $14.95. And if you want to add it on, we give you a discounted bundle, and it would be the one I pay, which is $26.90. And I have my legal plan and my identity theft protection plan for my entire family.
Well, Jacqueline, I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed all of the information. You've gave out some wonderful information on this business and on also as using LegalShield, and I appreciate it. And if you would like to know more, would you please repeat your email address so that people can contact you also if they'd like to know more?
Sure. So if you have any more questions or if you want to know more information, my email is jplegal, Legal, shield, SHIELD, @gmail.com.
And we appreciate it. And if you don't mind, is there anything else you'd like to say before we close?
That's it. If you know anyone who can use our services, spread the word. Not many people know about us, but yet so many people can help and benefit from having this program. And don't keep it a secret. That's it. That's all I got to say.
And we're glad that you've been here with us tonight. And thank you for taking the time out to talk to us about this. And you have a great night.
Thank you so much. You too.
All right. Thank you. Until next time, Digital Blitz.